Hello everyone! Now, I know this video isn't going to get a lot of views because it's on Angry Birds theory, but hear me out on this one. Okay, so for the 10th anniversary week for Five Nights at Freddy's, something we did as well, not realizing that there was also going to be an official one, the interactive novel VIP released. And it's a great book. Well, it's literally free too, so you have no excuse not to read it. But there is one character in the book I like to focus on. You, or Devin's little brother, Ike. I noticed some interesting qualities about him. First of all, he's your little brother. That's pretty obvious. Second of all, he has a favorite animatronic. And he seems to be afraid of said favorite animatronic for some reason. He also has a plushie relating to said favorite animatronic that he carries around with him everywhere. I don't know about you, but those qualities, those traits sound an awful lot like one Mr. Crying Child, or I guess he's called Dave now, according to Hyperdroid, which I have heard the theory before his video, and I do generally agree with it. I'm waiting for what the general consensus is first, so Crying Child, Dave, whatever you prefer. Anyway, I couldn't help but notice that they do happen to be somewhat of parallels between the two. However, there is one strange detail about Ike, something oddly specific that I noticed. It said that he's our shadow and we're physically tied to him. That doesn't sound like something the Crying Child would do, does it? Well, the word shadow is interesting because that immediately makes me think of two people across this franchise. You probably guessed. Shadow Freddy and Shadow Animatronics, or RWQFSFASXC. Again, whichever you prefer. And I think I came up with an interesting thought. Think about Shadow Freddy for a second here. And really think about it. Shadow Freddy seems to be following Mike around everywhere a lot. He's obviously seen in FNAF 2. He appears very rarely in FNAF 3 in the corner of your office. And he appears as Nightmare in FNAF 4, which I'm not really going to touch on in this video because this one's kind of confusing. Plus, his appearance in the Follow Me minigames, plus the FNAF movie, imply that he's also in the FNAF 1 location somewhere, even if we don't directly see him in that game. What am I trying to say here? Well, what if Shadow Freddy is a manifestation of Mike's guilt from the bite of 83? It's possible, but if that's the case, why does he seem to be helping William Afton in the Follow Me minigames? Well, think about it this way. Crying Child is William Afton's son, so he'd also have a bit of trauma from it as well. So it's possible that because of this, he was also able to see the Shadow Freddy character, and because William has no remorse whatsoever, he was somehow able to tame him and use him to enact his plans somehow. This might also explain why Shadow Freddy is purple compared to Shadow Bonnie's pitch black. Shadow Freddy has a part of Afton within him, and as such, has his significant color. But speaking of Shadow Bonnie for a second here, what's up with him? If Shadow Freddy is Mike's trauma, then what does Shadow Bonnie represent? Well, this one's a bit looser, but I think I might have an idea. Think about it this way. Shadow Bunny, both chronologically in the timeline and within game introductions, was first introduced in FNAF 2, which is something that the book does seem to want to draw attention to, as the Pizzaplex in that book is referred to as the safest place on Earth, something Phone Guy refers to the FNAF 2 location as. So with that in mind, think of it this way. In the FNAF 2 location, the Wither animatronics, the toy animatronics, and the puppet are all in the same location at once. In other words, the most dead kids, the most souls, are all in one place. The most of them at once. Obviously not counting FNAF 6. So is it possible Shadow Bunny spawned not from one kid or one small group of kids, Agony, but instead all of them together? This probably explains why he protects Agony in general in FNAF AR. He's not tied to one specific killing, just Agony in general. And, yeah, that's about it for this one. But a very small one, I know. But still something that I think could be true nonetheless. Even if I'm wrong, then it's still something to consider, I guess. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!